are live. We are live. Yes, we are live on YouTube this week.
Yes, we got it.
We did it. We are live on YouTube this week. So we do not own the rights to this music. We'll vibe out to it
For entertainment purposes only. I wanna fly away. I want to get away. Fly away.
All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Friday, TGIF. How was everyone's weekend? How was your week, Rose?
It was. I had a good week.
You had a good
I
week?
actually had a good week. I can't complain. I was tired, of course, running around, working, doing normal stuff, but I really had a good week. Complain.
Yeah. I had a good week. It was a long week though. It was a long week.
Yeah.
A lot to do. Had to do some extra, a little bit of extra this, a little bit of extra that, but it was a good week.
That's good.
I can't complain, but you know, it's Friday now and I get to chill
Okay.
and have a sip,
Mhm.
you know.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
TGIF.
It's Friday.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we getting into this week?
One of my favorite topics. We are going into travel and adventure. Yes.
Adventure. What
yes.
type of adventure?
Oh Lord, whatever you can think of when you travel.
All right.
When you travel, it's full of adventures. You never know what you're going to get yourself into.
Spicy.
Anything.
Spicy.
You never know what you're going to get into. It just so many things can happen.
Really?
You know, we've gotten into some adventures, right? Yes,
we got into some adventures. I don't know.
We have.
I don't recall, but
okay. I mean,
you'll bring it back to my remembrance during this episode.
During this episode, yeah. Yeah.
So travel and adventure.
Yes.
There's so much we can talk about when
Yes.
it comes to travel
Mm-hmm.
and adventure.
Yes.
Travel and adventure.
Yeah. So have you traveled recently?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So my latest trip was to California. I went to Palm Springs. It was a girls' trip.
Those are always good.
Yes, it was a girls' trip, and it was amazing.
Okay.
It was really, really amazing to just be in a space, in an atmosphere with, you know, so many women. I think it was like more than a handful of women. I can't remember exactly how many of us it was, but it was a lot of us, and we shared the same space. It was just amazing. Like that. That's one of my most memorable vacations. Yeah. It was. It is. Good. And I look forward to having more girl trips because you know, travel is different types of travel.
Yes.
You know, it's different types of travel. Yes. You have, you know, girls trips. You have
family trips.
You have
vacations.
And you have, you know, just different types of trips. So
yeah,
I look forward to just having that space with the group of a good group of women, with the girls, or whatever.
It's always nice to just get away and, you know, just to unwind, to relax, to de-stress, to
right.
It's good for your mental health, I believe, to travel and to just unwind.
Right.
Yeah, it's always a good thing.
What is what was your last vacation? Was it your 40th birthday?
It was my 40th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? What month are we in? March? Yes. It was. It was my 40th birthday with St. Thomas. It was amazing. It was gorgeous. It has been one of the most beautiful places I visited.
Really?
Yes. I would definitely go back. I have to put it on one of the top places I visited.
Really? What did you like about it?
Just everything. I liked I like the environment, the atmosphere, the people, the vibe, the beaches are beautiful.
What was the culture like there?
It was it was you know how can I explain it?
Because
It's like
we go on vacation for
yes, we
culture.
do. It was like going to Jamaica.
Okay.
Like it's plenty of, you know, like African, it's such a variety of people. There were African Americans. I'm Dominican. So I'm at the supermarket and I hear a guy on the phone and he's so Dominican. I'm like, where are you from? He's like, I'm Dominican. I'm like, oh, I'm Dominican too. And we just, started vibing, talking. Our taxi driver was from Haiti. You just meet so many different people. So, but
Yeah.
it was just beautiful. I loved it. I loved it.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
did. I did. It's one of the most beautiful
And you had
places
good
I've ever been.
company, I
And I
imagine.
had good company. We stayed at an Airbnb, which was beautiful.
We can get into that later.
Yes.
Later in the conversation.
Yes.
About where to stay, what's
Yep.
the best type of. When we went to when I was in California, we stayed at an Airbnb too. And I think those are popular nowadays.
Yes.
But I think it gives you so much flexibility. Like it gives you so much comfort. I feel like
yes.
A lot of them most of them are very like roomy. They're beautiful. Like the way they do. A lot of them are set up. We were in Florida over the summertime, and we stayed in the Airbnb then too. So it was just like I'm becoming a huge fan of Airbnb.
Yes, I am too. I definitely prefer it over a hotel. I feel like it's less restrictions. Like you feel like you're home. You want to cook, you want to go out and buy something and cook and just chill by the pool without, like it's just other people,
Right.
It's just nice. The vibe is nice in an Airbnb. Very homey. Very homey.
So was it your 40th birthday? Was it like the trip that you imagined? Because
it wasn't,
but
yes,
travel,
I definitely.
But a lot of people are doing travel.
Yes, I love to travel. So I knew for my 40th birthday, I knew that I wanted to go away. Like that's one thing. I know I want to go away. I know I want to go away. So that I had been planning even before I turned, like even a year before I turned 40. I'm like, okay, I want to start planning. I want to start doing something because I knew I wanted to go away. It wasn't what I imagined. Little bumps in the road here and there wasn't what I imagined, but I ended up having a good time anyways. I ended up having fun. I ended up celebrating. Yeah, it was good. It was a good trip. It was a good trip. It could have been better, obviously, but it was a good trip.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But, the good thing is you have fun.
Yes.
And I didn't go with you this time.
No, you didn't. No.
I didn't go with you this time. I know it might have been a little disappointing because it was your 40th, but I didn't go with you this time. Just because of business and different things.
But things happen. Things happen.
We'll have a girls' trip soon.
That's it. That's it. So let me ask you something, since we're talking about girls' trips and things like that. Do you have a preference? Like, which do you prefer? Girls' trips to family trips to vacations to which do you prefer? Is there one that you like more than the other?
No. I prefer them all because there's a time and a place and a space for each one of those. You need a time for your girls, you need a time for your your babe, you need a time for your family, just a family for family bonding. I think when it comes to vacation, it comes to traveling, it offers opportunity to bond in a space that's out of your comfort zone, right? When it's just you and your babe, you get to explore, you just get to explore so much. You get to explore one another, you get to explore culture. It's just you two. So it gives you that intimacy without, others being there. Then you have the family trips where you get to bond, I feel like when you do family trips, you do girls trips, it's way more involved sometimes because it's like you try to schedule the itinerary to fit kind of like everybody's thing, or you just try to do so much in so little time so that you get the most of your experience. But I think they all each individually have its place, have its time. Typically you probably, depending on where you are in your life, I feel like you go on one or the other more than the other. Like when I was single, I only went on girls trips because I was single.
Yeah.
But now that I got a babe, where we going, babe? Where we going? So it's that, and then I want to make sure that, especially now with Amari getting older, I think the vacation that you and I took together, it was mommy and me type of trip. So it was us and our children,
Right.
and
I think that was more like a family.
Yeah, it was. I was getting ready to say, and
like
that turned into
trip.
a family trip. That turned more into a family trip. So we could say it was a family trip because that was my family dynamics at the time. So it was really good. So I don't prefer either or. It's just a matter of when and what circumstances are at that time. What about you? Do you prefer one over the other?
Not now. I think a couple of years ago, if you would have asked me if I prefer one more than the other, yes, I would have preferred a girls' trip over or a vacation over a family trip. I just feel with having younger kids and traveling, sometimes it's more work, I would feel like if I would travel with my kids, it'd be like, oh, you got to make sure they're okay. And, making sure you pack all their stuff and packing toys and things to keep them entertained while on vacation, doing things that, that are kid friendly. When you're on a girls' trip, it's more having fun. You don't have to worry about the kids. You don't have to worry about the husband. You don't have to worry about these. It's kind of like carefree, stress-free.
Right.
On a vacation, same thing. It's you and your babe. And you're like, oh, let's do this, let's do that, without the kids, without having that stress of having to worry about the kids and do all this other stuff. Right. Now my kids are older, so all the trips are fun for me at this point. But before, it's like
it was another task.
It was I was like, no.
Right, it was another task. It was just something else to do.
Like we would take them on vacation because we had to take them on vacation. Sometimes I'm like, oh,
That's kind of fucked up.
It is kind of fucked up, but I'm being honest. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, we got to take the kids, yeah.
Right.
But it's more work for me because it's like, oh, they don't want to eat out, they want this or whatever.
Right.
So
it's okay.
Yeah, but now they're older, so it's more fun with them.
Right, because they can pack their own bags, they can take care of their own things and different things like that. Yep. But I think just traveling with your kids and even at a young age, giving them that experience is important. Like we didn't necessarily have that when we were coming up. I know I didn't. I didn't necessarily have that. I did.
Well, my family being from the Dominican Republic, I remember being 5 years old and even younger. Right. Like I have a passport. My baby picture is on it, I was a baby,
right,
with a passport, and I would be traveling, but mostly to Dominican Republic, and just going to see my grandma and my grandfather that were there, just being in the country, chasing chickens,
chasing chickens.
I did. My dad, my grandfather, and my grandma had a farm, and they had pigs and chickens and all sorts of animals, so. They would actually, my grandpa would be like, Rose, go get the chicken that you want for dinner. And I'd be chasing the chickens around, things like that.
Right.
And it was fun. Riding the horses. It was fun. Mm-hmm. It was fun. I would go summertime. And then my parents owned the home in DR as well. So every summer we would go over there. So.
Well, speaking of chickens, remember when we were in
when we were in DR?
When we were in DR and we went to whose house did we go to? We went to somebody's house. Mm-hmm. And they went out, they were making us dinner, right? The first time we went on the first time I'm there, they're like, we're gonna make you dinner. So there's like, what do you want? Pedro's house. So what do you want? So me being, can't go stereotype. Me being black, I want chicken. So wanting chicken, so unbeknownst to me, they went outside in their backyard
and grabbed the
chicken.
Yeah. Oh, you want chicken? We got you.
I was so turned off.
We'll kill that chicken for you.
I was so turned off. Mm-hmm. Like I was not a fan.
Yeah.
And it was just because they went outside in the backyard and killed the chicken and brought it to the table. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was cooked, of course, but it just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
So you're used to that.
Yeah, I'm used to it. in the country, like I said, in the farm that my
Mhm.
grandfather had, they would kill chickens all the time. Like, what do you want for dinner? Chicken? Yeah, go grab that one. Whichever one you grab, that's the one we're having for dinner. I saw them as I got older. Like, I would never know that they would kill that chicken. I just thought it was fun. Like, oh, go grab the chicken. I'm like, I don't know, 5 years old, running after a chicken.
Well, that was an adventure for me to see the chicken being on like on my plate after it was just running around.
Yeah. It's fun. I think it just gave me all this experience, like just being able to do this thing. It's just being able to experience that gives you a different, I don't know, I don't want to say perspective.
So you were born in DR?
No, I was born here. Yes, in the United States. My parents are from the Dominican Republic.
Okay, so this is home for you.
This is home. I have two older brothers, which were born in the Dominican Republic.
Right.
Then my parents came in the 70s, and then I was born here.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to ask you, was America ever a vacation for you? Like
no. I was born here.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is all I've known.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Until you travel.
Right. Yeah. But then to me, that was normal as well. Like, okay, summertime, we would go to DR. Summertime, we would go to DR.
Because that was normal. Right. So when we were there, we were locals. Like it was, no, like they treated us really, really well. We were in a grocery store. We were driving around.
It was like natural. We had rented a car. We were driving around. Like we knew where we were going.
And it was nothing like. It was nothing like the stories that you hear, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying that those things don't exist, but it was nothing like that. You know, when you hear stories on the news about, some different countries, it's almost like, oh, I don't want to go there. But
I think that's anywhere you go.
Great for me.
I think that's anywhere you go because we've been to Jamaica and you hear so many things about Jamaica. Like, oh, be careful.
We went to Jamaica together.
Yes, we did.
Oh my God.
Oh my God! Yes, we did.
We went to Jamaica together.
Mm-hmm. But then you hear so many things about Jamaica. You hear anywhere you go, anywhere you travel, you have to be safe. You know, you have to be aware of your surroundings and what's going on. But anywhere you go, there's a possibility of danger. You just have to be careful.
Right. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So looks like we have some viewers. Hey y'all. Hey everybody. Good evening. Yeah. Thank you all for joining us. We're talking about travel and adventure and chasing chickens and eating live chicken, fresh chicken straight out the backyard.
Yeah.
So it's been an adventure, but I totally forgot that we went to Jamaica.
We did. That was a girls' trip as well. That was fun.
So
that was like 20 women. 17,
that was a ton of women. We had so much fun there.
We did. We had such a good time.
And that trip. So let's talk about like the different types of, because we stayed in a hotel that trip.
Yes.
So we stayed at a resort.
All inclusive.
Mm-hmm. It was an adult only resort.
It was.
Yes.
Which we liked.
We enjoyed. It was adult only, and they just had so much entertainment.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And it was just we danced like we hours in the morning
at the bar
just
dancing, drinking, eating nachos from that nasty machine.
That's all they had. That's all they had for us to eat
at 2 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. It was like I remember percolating.
Me too.
So we went to. I mean, it was different women, all ages. None of us really we met there. Most of us, aside from the people that we came with, we met there, right?
Yeah.
So one of my good girls.
I just knew her and our other roommate.
Yeah. Mama Melissa.
Yeah.
So so we were there. So we stayed. So we did when we went to DR, we did Airbnb.
We did an Airbnb, that villa.
Okay, right. Yeah. And then we did the hotel in Jamaica.
Right.
So what do you prefer when you go on vacation? Do you prefer Airbnb or do you prefer hotel?
I prefer Airbnb.
Why?
Because I do my own thing. I just feel like in the hotel, I mean, we had a good time in Jamaica. I love that it was all inclusive and there was no kids, but I just feel like in the Airbnb, it's kind of like being home. Like I could walk around in my bathing suit, and which you could do that at the hotel too. But I could stay up by the pool. I can play loud music. I can.
It was every
drink and eat
we played
and
loud
cook
music in the hotel in Jamaica.
Yeah, but there was nobody else there. It was just like us at the bar.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. So we went to just so everyone knows, where did we go? We were in DR. We were in, where did we go? Puerto Plata,
Puerto Plata.
Dominican Republic. That is nice. So you know, if you are interested in going to DR, that is a good place to go. And then we went. Where did we stay? We stayed at
a villa in Star Hills. I actually own a
I was
place
getting ready to say,
in
you
Star
own a
Hills.
place in
Yes.
Star Hills.
So that trip that we went on, we were walking around the development, and my husband ended up coming on the trip with us.
Talk about adventures.
Because originally it was me and Tip and the kids, and then he showed up the next day and surprised us there.
He surprised all of us.
He did surprise all of us there, which it turned out great because we ended up having such an amazing time, such a good time. We ended up walking around the development where had rented the villa at, the Airbnb, and it was just so beautiful. It was a gated community. Our kids had tried to escape. I don't know if you remember, and the security guard brought them back.
Really?
Yes, they're like, oh, they were trying to leave.
Yes. Wait,
not the Anamari.
Not the, where y'all was going? Where y'all trying to go?
Outside development.
Not those here with us. Where were y'all going?
We were trying to go to the clubhouse.
The clubhouse.
Out.
So you were going the wrong way. They were going the wrong way. That's
Oh,
what
they were
not trying to. Listen,
okay. They were trying to escape.
Our angels were not trying
the compound. They were trying to escape the compound.
No, not the compound. But okay, so
but we were walking around. We saw these houses. We ended up talking to the salesperson there, and she showed us a couple of houses. We came back home. Me and my husband spoke about it. We ended up purchasing a property in DR. It was a little condo. It needed some renovating. We did that, and then recently we just purchased the condo next door and blew up the wall in between and made some more bedrooms. So now we have a little setup in DR in Puerto Plata. If anybody wants to rent it, let me know.
Oh, shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Maybe me and my babe, me and my
know.
babe would go.
I got connects. We got connects for everything.
And you're
rental
right.
cars.
And we'll stay at your place. We'll support you.
Yes.
So how did you? So when we went, I remember you booked the Airbnb.
Yes.
So how did you book that?
At that time, well, we had at the time.
I don't think I've booked a vacation yet. Like just me. So
okay.
All my vacations have just been booked. So you're gonna be telling me something.
Yeah. No, I've booked tons of vacations and done it through Airbnb, like tons of places to stay through Airbnb. At that time when we went on vacation, Airbnb was fairly new. So we had timeshare at a resort that was nearby. And since it was spring break, it ended up getting packed. And they told us like a week or two before we were going that they couldn't accommodate us. So now we have the flights purchased and they're telling us. I think I did. No. Now because we were supposed to stay at the resort. But they ended up telling us, no, we couldn't stay. We already had our flights purchased. We ended up having to look into an Airbnb. Well, we ended up having to look where to stay, not Airbnb, but just where to stay. I checked VRBO. I checked different sites that we usually use to book places.
Right.
And I ran into Airbnb and I was like, oh, I've never used them before. I tried to read some of the reviews. I'm big on reviews. I try to read reviews. Everything was legit.
Make sure you leave a review.
I leave reviews for everything. Every hotel I go to, every restaurant, everything, because I like reading reviews. I like real comments, like real commentary on things. Like, no, it stinks. No, there's roaches, whatever. I need to know. Listen, I've read comments where people are like, no, do not stay here. It's not what it looks like.
Right.
I've read comments where they say, oh, it's roaches. I'm like, oh, no. I read comments. So all the comments seemed...
She read comments.
Yes.
Okay.
All the comments were positive. All the reviews were positive about Airbnb and about this one place.
Right.
So, and then the price was right. I think we ended up staying like a week and a half almost, like 12 days.
Wasn't it for like 9 something?
I think it was like, the
like
price.
It
was like 9 something for like 12 days.
It was a really good deal.
Huge house, 3 bedrooms. Like it was so nice. But yeah, I've done that. I've stayed there through Airbnb, and I've stayed other places through Airbnb. I love Airbnb. But I definitely read the comments.
So what did you use a particular site or like how did you, or did you get it like a lead from the resort because they couldn't
No, it was
accommodate us?
not a lead from the resort. I had to find our own accommodations. So I went online just trying to, Google, just let me find places in DR in Puerto Plata, because that's where we were landing or near
Mhm.
there. Just try to find a hotel or something that was, affordable and could fit us all.
Google our best friend
Yeah,
nowadays,
so
right?
Google had directed me to Airbnb because I had gone to VRBO and other sites
Mhm.
like vacation
Mhm.
rentals by owner. I had gone to other sites to try to find a home, but no, that's where it led me to Airbnb. And like I said, the price was right. I chatted with the host and everything went well.
So right, and it was a beautiful home. Like
Mhm.
it was spacious. It accommodated all of us. It was how many? But it was how many of us? It was your family plus me and Amari.
Right,
So,
my family's 5,
So it was 7 of us.
7 of us. We
And
have
then
3 bedroom.
right,
Mhm.
and then we had company. Like remember when we cooked? Remember we
Yes,
were all
yes.
there. We
Mhm,
cooked and different
mhm.
things like that. So it accommodated
The living room was huge.
huge.
The kitchen was big. It had a little
Right.
breakfast nook.
right.
Hmm.
So it was definitely huge. So Google's our best friend,
Yes.
right?
And the
And-
development had a pool, which is something that we were looking for in regards to the kids.
It had
Like
a
we
pool,
needed
and
something.
it had that house.
It had a
that
clubhouse. It had
yeah.
a playground, trampoline, tennis court, basketball court.
Right. It had
Yes.
everything. It had
Mhm.
everything. And the trails there, the scenery was just beautiful.
Yep, it's up on the mountain. Like it's called Star Hills, but it's up like on a hill, so you
Right.
can see. You
And-
can see the beach.
And it was their elite area,
Mhm.
right? It was their elite, like their doctors and different things.
Right. The vice president lives in that development
Right.
of the country. The vice president of the country lives in that development.
Right.
The
so the
owner
leaders
of the
lived there.
clinic, the owner of Brugal,
Yeah.
the
It was
rum.
really,
Yeah.
it was good. We learned a lot on that vacation.
Mhm.
And it was just like that's the adventure of it. We
Mhm.
explored, we learned a lot. We went to like the zoo or someplace
Yeah,
like
we
that.
did excursions. We did Ocean World.
We did a
zip
lot.
lining.
And it was
Horseback riding.
pretty
Mhm.
inexpensive. We went to we did the currency exchange and different things like that. So
We went to the supermarket and bought food, especially with the kids. Like eating out can get expensive.
So what would you suggest? Like if someone's looking to go on any trip, what would you suggest? Like where they start? Google, or like did you find this place on like Priceline? Because I hear people talk about Priceline, people talk about Bookit.com or Booking.com. So it's just like Google,
at that time I went to Google. Now when I'm looking for something, I just go straight to Airbnb.
Airbnb.com.
Airbnb, yep.
Really?
.com. There's an app. I actually have our place in DR. I have it listed on Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
So I have the app because I just
Yeah.
keep track of our calendars and things like that. But I just go right now. If I want to go on a vacation and I don't want to stay in a hotel or things like that, we go straight to Airbnb. We search the city that we want to stay in, and everything in that city pops up, and then the surrounding area pops up. So if I put, I want to be at, I don't know, so and so beach, and it gives you everything. Okay, this one home is about, I don't know, 5 miles from that beach, and it kind of gives you like a little map of where the houses are and how close it is to where you want to be.
Right.
Things like that.
Right. Okay. So
Mhm.
so somebody right. That's good. We did the beach. We did do the beach. Remember we did Sosa? Was it
Sosua.
Sosua
Mhm.
Beach? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But they have so many other beaches, so many other things to do in that country. Yeah,
so
yeah.
you being from Dominican Republic, what would you say? What advice would you give someone that has never been to DR? I'm just starting to travel, and stuff like that.
Oh
But
my gosh.
what advice would you give someone that has never been to DR? Like if they wanted to feel safe or they wanted to just protect themselves, like what I mean? What advice would you give them?
You always have to be careful. You always have to be aware of your surroundings anywhere you go. People there, it's a third world country. People there are hungry. People there are going to try to rip you off. They're going to try to sell you a water for $10. Just know, I'd say negotiate everything. Everything's negotiable.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I go and I negotiate everything. The water's $10. Nope, I'll give you 3, and then we'll figure it out or whatever. But they're always, especially with the tourists, they try to rip you off. They try to have you pay more for everything. So, but always be aware of your surroundings. Don't be flashy. Don't be, because they know and they're
And we
they're out to
traveled,
get you.
and we traveled. We made sure we were all together all
Yes,
the time.
yes, correct.
We didn't
Safety
travel
first.
alone. Yeah,
Yep.
we didn't travel alone. So that's a good point. So, and when we went to DR, we were deep. But
Mhm.
some of us, not DR, I'm sorry,
Jamaica.
we went to Jamaica.
Mhm.
We were really, really deep. It was a bunch of women, and we were on a resort, so the resort workers made sure that we were good.
Right.
And it was like, even when we went off into the local area, they made sure we were good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Even with us being 20 women at this one trip, everybody wanted to do their own thing. There were these girls that wanted to go on a yacht or whatever, and we're like,
Mhm.
okay, that's not exactly what we want to do. We want to do this. So we all kind of split up and went our different ways.
Right, because we was on a yacht.
Were we on the yacht?
Yes, we went to the yacht. Remember?
I don't remember.
Remember, I was dancing with the guys on the steps.
Oh, that was the club that was on the yacht.
On the yacht, it was on the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was fun. But then
it was just me and you.
Yeah. Our roommate didn't go.
Our roommate stayed back, but
Mhm.
you and I went, and it was
it. But in the summer, I think most of the women went on that one. Most of them went. Most of them went out that night.
Really?
But even the resort sent somebody with us, so we had to
Yes.
use the van from the resort.
Yes.
Stayed with the guy all night. He was with us at the club,
whole
watching
time.
us.
Yes.
We stopped to get chicken or something, and he was the one that got. He's like, no, you guys stay in the van.
Yeah, we were in Montego Bay.
Yeah.
And it was, but it's also treat people how you want to be treated
Yes.
too. And you don't want to be rude and nasty
Mhm.
at any cost, but the people that work at the resorts, this is their job.
Yes.
This is their bread and butter.
Mhm.
So they're making sure that the tourists are safe and different things
Mhm.
like that. My favorite part of Jamaica, or not just Jamaica, my favorite part of traveling is there's adventure in your
everything.
outfits. Choosing your outfits for vacation.
yes.
Let's talk about it.
Yes.
I think I found adventure in that, but more so I found adventure in that in my recent trip to Palm Springs to California.
Mhm.
And that's because the ladies that organized that, they were like, this is the theme for this day. They themed everything. So it was really fun and cool to be able to explore that side of myself, to say, okay, think outside the box. This is the theme. I'm really not familiar with this theme, but let Google.
Mhm.
Google's my best friend. And it's just like, yo. So, and as
and it's crazy because you go to these countries and you don't think Google works, but Google works. And it
Everywhere.
takes you exactly. You could be in like a wooded area and it'll get you out. Like it'll be like make a left,
Right. Right. No, so speaking of that, right? Speaking of that, is like going back to my trip to Palm Springs, let me tell you something. I think the itinerary, we were all over Palm Springs. We was all over California. In that little bit of time, we hit Inglewood, we hit Compton, we hit just LA. We hit a ton of different cities within that vicinity, and we seen so much. Like, if I don't ever go back to Palm Springs, I'm full. So it was just great because we had a theme for each day. When we were in Palm Springs, we went over by Joshua's Tree, and it was like these winding woods where like we in the woods, like deep in the woods, like no service, no telephone service.
Oh God.
We had no like GPS, I don't even know. Listen, my girl is bad. She did the driving. My best friend, she did the driving, and she got us in, got us out, got us to where, like, she had these. I don't know how she had these coordinates, but none of us had service, so it was just like we had to make sure we got back. But it was a beautiful thing. But I enjoyed choosing my outfits for that. My man helped me choose the outfits. He was like, no, he made sure, but it was just fun. And we took pictures for days.
Yeah.
And I think that's another part of vacation that is just memorable.
You have to make those memories.
Too.
Yeah.
So it's just
memories,
what do you think?
Memories.
Bathing suits,
everything. Things that I wouldn't normally wear around here in New Jersey. You feel so free to wear it anywhere else. Like an outfit with half your body showing or, half naked. I would wear it in Jamaica. I wouldn't necessarily wear it here in New Jersey, but I'll wear it in Jamaica.
So we just get on our wild side. when
We
go on
do. We
vacation.
do. We have a good time.
Right. So anybody, let's ask our audience.
Let me ask you a question before we proceed.
Uh-huh.
I know you mentioned that you were on this girls' trip in California and everything was kind of like planned out. So every day you guys had something to do. How do you deal with that if there's something that is planned for the day, but you don't want to do it?
You didn't have to do it. You don't have to do it. It's your vacation.
Right.
So the itinerary was very fluid. This is what we have planned. This is what, we have planned as a group. You go or you don't.
Okay.
It wasn't one of them vacations where we all have to do this.
Right.
We all
Okay.
have to, that's
Okay.
a little, rigid. And the girls the ladies that I went with, like I said, my best friend, her sister, Kisa and Sasha, they really put thought into this. It was their 35th and 40th birthday. So we did it up. They did it up. And so that's one of the things they made sure we understood. Like, this is what we're planning, but you can pick and choose which events you want to do.
Okay.
So yeah, it was amazing. And I think like those are the type of vacations I like to attend. Like that I like to be a part of, because you can't vacation with everybody.
You cannot, and that's what I was just about to say. You can't
cannot
vacation with everybody. And people
everybody.
get sometimes where this is what's planned or this is what I want to do, and you don't want to do this, and they get a little funny style with that. So
right, but you have to know, who you're vacationing with.
you have to be okay with not being okay. Like you have to agree to disagree. I don't have to go.
And you have to be open to the adventures. Like we
are. But if there's something I'm like,
listen.
You're going skydiving, not my thing.
Listen, we went listen, we went to Compton, okay?
No, I know.
We went to Compton. So some, there were people who's like, nah, I'm not going to Compton.
Right.
See y'all later. There was some of us that wanted to dip dabble, but then was just like, nah, let me go back to the car. So it was your choice. And I feel like when you go on vacation, you should be free to do what you want to do, because just as much as it's a girls trip, just as much as it's a family vacation, you should be free to do what you want to do. On a vacation, that's a little different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's compromise.
But even then, there's things that he might want to do. I'm like, okay, I'll go with you. I'm not, like I said, skydive. I'm gonna wait for you down here. Or if you want to go deep in the water and do something, I'll wait for you on the sand. I'll support as much as I can without crossing that boundary that I don't want to cross.
Right. So when you go on vacation, do you prefer to do everything together? Are you okay with, because I remember I fell asleep on you in DR.
Yeah, but that's at night when we were trying to go out at night, and then you were the only other person I had, So I'm like, okay, when are you getting up?
Right. And I did not get up. We did not go. Like that was probably like a bummer. We did not get up. We did not go. And it was just like, all right.
But then at some point my husband was there. So it's like, okay, but he's like, okay, if you guys, because then we had our own car. So he's like, if you guys want to go out, go. But then I'm like, okay,
I think that we were supposed to go. I was just like, I need a nap.
Yeah.
I need a nap, and I just napped, and I was just sitting. I think you tried to wake me up, and I was just like,
she's like, no. Yeah.
That was just that for that. So what would you say, speaking of, just clothing and vacations, and because I know when I go on vacation, I want the bells and the whistles. I want the luxury.
I love vacation.
Right.
I love it.
So what would you say is a reasonable amount of money to spend on vacation?
It depends where you're going, how long you're going for, and what you're trying to do.
Oh. you do this, girl. Okay.
It depends where you're going. It depends the currency. It depends. We went to Cuba, my husband and I, for his 40th birthday.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, we would have breakfast. We were only there, I would say, a week, maybe. But the breakfast, the way the exchange, like I guess for the dollar, whatever, we would have breakfast, and we would have like full-blown breakfasts with drinks and desserts and like crazy stuff. And once we paid, it was like maybe $2.
Really?
Yeah. And we're like, Cuba.
Babe, we going to Cuba.
So we're like, it's ridiculous. Like everything is,
Maybe July,
it's-
August.
yeah, it's definitely, that was definitely an experience. I loved it. I loved it. But it's a little sad, like just seeing the people and what they're going through and
Okay,
struggling and
yeah.
things like that. And you're out there like flashing, like, oh, I'm gonna have all this for $2 when they can't
Is
even.
that the only area? Is that the only vacation you've gone on that you've experienced that? Like the sadness of the people.
I mean,
The
DR,
people.
obviously, you experience that once you
Mhm.
get really into the hood and see the kids. But even with us doing the 4-wheelers, I don't know if you
The ATV,
remember
when we were
the
on
ATVs, yeah,
yeah,
the kids
yeah.
that asking my son, "Oh, can I have your shirt?" And my son took off his shirt and gave it to him because it had a
Right.
Spider-Man or
Right.
something on it. And he wanted it.
Mhm.
And kids barefoot and things like that. Like you experience poverty, it touches your heart. But I think in places like Cuba, it just touches me a little more because of their political situation, things like that,
Mhm.
and what they're going through. But it was beautiful, except for that. It was beautiful. And we would go. We didn't spend a lot of money, but it was just because everything was so cheap.
Right.
But it depends. Like St. Thomas, things were a little more expensive.
More expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think when we went to, speaking of girls trip, like my girls, I think I got to give a shout out to my girls, all my girls. So I was on a girls trip. We went to Costa Rica.
Mm.
Oh my God, we had a great time there as well. We stayed in the Airbnb there. Yes, we stayed in the Airbnb there. It was just the three of us. We had my girls trips have been amazing.
All girls trips are amazing.
Yes, like I have had no drama ever on any of my girls trips.
Mm-hmm.
Even for my birthday when we went to the Poconos. That was that was local in the United States, but we celebrated my birthday in the Poconos one year, and that was a great trip.
Mm-hmm.
So my girls trips are amazing.
I think all trips are amazing.
I don't know. I can't speak for everybody.
Yeah.
So, and I can only say what my experiences. So my trips were amazing. My girls trips were amazing.
Yeah.
And my family trips and different things like that. But I just look forward to continuing to explore and chasing adventure. Whether it be excursions or laying by the pool, watching the entertainers perform, just all of that is just. What about? So let's shift gears.
Talking about entertainment. Sorry, I've gone to several concerts, but we went to a concert in DR, right? Mind you, it's like on an open field, whatever, and they tell us, okay, at 11 o'clock. We go at 11 o'clock to start this concert. The performer didn't start till like 4 a.m.
What?
Yeah.
Y'all stayed?
We were there. I was exhausted. I was so tired. By the time he came on, I was like, oh no. So me and my husband learned from going forward, we're just going to, we sleep till like 12 or 1 o'clock, and then we get up and then go to the concert because we know usually
Oh, wow.
the performers are going to start at that time because, yeah, it was.
We were out late at DR at that club one night. Yeah, that was too late for me.
Yeah.
We have pictures and videos and stuff.
Yes, you dancing a little merengue.
Yeah. Maybe we'll upload those this week so y'all can see some of our adventure.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say was I lost my train of thought when you cut me off. Anyway, what was I talking about?
I don't know.
Yeah, so I think I was gonna say something about like excursions. When we're chasing adventures, and are you the person that just like to lay by the beach? You like to do the excursions? What do you like to do? Because when we were in Jamaica, did you ride the horses?
No, I was in the water.
Okay, so I rode the horse.
It's not that I wouldn't ride the horse. It's not that I didn't want to do it. I've ridden horses before.
No, but what do you prefer? Like, what is your
I don't have a preference. Just whatever I'm feeling at the moment. I think there's certain things I don't want to do. So depending what it is, I'll just say, no, I don't want to do it. And that's it. I'd rather lay by the beach if you're going out doing whatever, jet skis, whatever. I'm like, I'll just wait here. There's certain things I don't want to do. There's things I will do. I've done zip lining. I've done several things. It's just
zip lining is amazing.
It was definitely
amazing.
a beautiful
But were
experience.
you afraid to zip line?
I was, but it's something that I
You
wanted
were
to.
afraid to
I
zip
was.
line. You
I'm
were
scared.
high.
I'm scared of heights.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a fear that I wanted to conquer, and it's something that I wanted to do. So once I got past that first, because it was then several zip lines. It wasn't just like you go once and you stop.
They
No,
were
it was
far.
like levels. One was one started real
And then we went higher.
higher. Like the last one, we had to climb up a tower and then go across like a mountain or I don't even know.
The
But
adrenaline rush
yes,
that you get from zip
Yes.
line.
I closed my
zip line
eyes.
is amazing. I zip lined in DR and I zip lined in Costa Rica, and they all were amazing. And I just like the adventure of it. Now I am a scary person. I'm not trying a bunch of things, but zip lining, that's my thing.
Yeah.
If I don't do it again, I'm okay. But that was definitely I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was just let me just conquer my fear,
Yeah.
or let me just chase adventures, or let me just live life. YOLO, or
And that's another thing. I think when you're on vacation, it's a different kind of adrenaline, like mentality or something. Like these things come up, like zip lining. And maybe if it was here, I wouldn't normally do it, but I'm in a different country. I'm doing something different. Like my thing is like, let me create this memory. Let me have this experience. So I want to do it.
Right.
So, and there's other things that I've done that I wouldn't normally do here, but since I'm on vacation, I'm like, fuck it.
Do we want to talk about it?
No, just
just so what?
Yeah.
So I think so. Shifting gears a little bit. What besides going internationally? What are some things in the United States that you can do? Like I just have this need to just travel state to state. I want to go to each state in the United States and experience what that state has.
Yes.
So
there's so much to see.
There's so much to see.
To do.
So would you ever take a road trip?
Yes. I would love to. My family, we have discussed this because my brother drives trucks for a living. So he said, let's rent an RV and take a road trip.
Right.
And he's like, I'll drive, because he drives cross country for work anyway. He drives for FedEx, so he'd be cross country. So he's like, let's rent an RV and we, I'll drive the RV and we can just take a vacation. And that has been his dream forever to do this. So that's something I would definitely do. I would love to do that. Take a road trip, do, stop here and do stops and experience whatever. I would love to do that.
So how many states do you think you've traveled to here? No?
Around here, I'm gonna say probably the East Coast.
Okay.
I've been to a couple of other states, but not a lot.
Yeah.
I like traveling internationally.
So I've traveled the United States. I haven't been to every state by far, but growing up, I was in a drill team. And we were afforded the opportunity to go on different, weekend trips to different states for competition. So that's how I was able to travel state to state. But I wasn't able to explore everything as I would as an adult. But one of my favorite places to go in the United States is Florida.
Yeah.
Like I've been there several times. And I just I want to do a road trip and just travel the East Coast, or do a road trip and travel the West Coast. I don't know if I want to go coast to coast. I think that might be a little long for me. But I think, I would really enjoy, at least doing, the East Coast and then the West Coast and different things like that. It's just, I just find so much excitement in planning a vacation. Let's talk about it. When you're planning a vacation, right? It's just the excitement just builds up. Depending on who you're going with, you're constantly talking about it. What do you think?
I think it's fun. I think it's fun, I just don't like, let's say, I'm going to bring up a girls' trip, for example, or you're talking to a friend or something. You're like, oh, let's plan this girls' trip. And you're excited and you're planning, and then it's time, and then they're like, fall back. Or you're like, I'm ready. What are we doing?
Nobody. Half of the people fall off.
Half of the people fall off. So that's a little discouraging, because then that's where I'm like, oh, like I wanted to do this because I was so excited but then everybody fell off, and you're like, okay, but
So do you think so in planning a trip, like what do you, I know for me, I have not planned a trip yet.
mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like, I don't know where to, I would be so like confused as to where to begin, but my 40th birthday is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be starting to plan my 40th birthday soon.
Mm-hmm.
And so y'all get ready.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my friends, y'all get ready. My family, y'all get ready if y'all want to attend. It may be a trip. It may be a winter wonderland party because my birthday's in January.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be 40 soon. So I would look forward to planning this trip. And I have to consider everybody's budget.
Mm-hmm.
I have to consider everybody's, flexibility
Yes.
and different
Mhm.
things like that. And so what would you say to me? You planned your 40th birthday trip.
Yes.
What would you say?
And I
to
could have
me?
definitely done different planning.
Okay.
Okay. But I would say the sooner you start planning, the better. And there are sites that provide you with assistance, like they help you with the whole planning process. So, like the ones that we used, I'm gonna use it as an example. When we went to Jamaica, that it was 17 of us,
Right.
and we were able to. Okay,
we used a travel agent.
Correct.
Okay, we used
so
a
we were
travel
able
agent.
to put a deposit,
Right.
and then make payments on that up to the time of our trip, or like up
Mhm.
to a month before our trip. I believe we had to have all our money in.
Mhm.
But they did most of, like, okay, this is where you want to go. They booked the flights. They booked the flights. They booked the hotel. You know, they did the whole what do I say, shuttle to and from the airport.
They
Things
did
like
everything.
that. They did everything. We just
everything.
paid for it, and everything was taken care of.
Mhm.
So I would do something like, if you're trying to plan and it's a lot of people, I would do something like that. So where
Mhm.
people can actually put a deposit and make payments on it, because everybody's budget is different. Everybody's finances are different. So
Mhm.
in order to keep everything, if somebody wants to pay everything up front, fine. If you want to make payments on that, fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna keep that in
And just let
mind.
them know, I would say beforehand,
Right.
you know, with enough time so they can start planning.
Well, I don't know
in
what I
there.
want to do yet, so y'all just be ready. I know my sister's watching. Hey,
Mhm.
Poe. My sister wants to do a sister trip, so
Ah.
I gotta plan that. Try and plan that
Mhm.
sooner. We gotta plan that soon. And then I know that we got Dominica Flocka back this week.
Hey,
She said she
girl.
want to do South Carolina.
EDE. Oh my gosh. You know what? It's funny because I'm trying to do something for spring break with another girlfriend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just talking about Myrtle Beach, South
Mhm.
Carolina, doing something like that. So, yeah.
That sounds like a plan. So we need to get to planning.
Yes.
We need to get to chasing these adventures.
Let me
making
ask
these
you
memories.
a question. What do you think of cruises?
I was on a cruise.
You don't seem to.
I was on a cruise.
Because that's definitely travel.
Yes, I was on a cruise. My prom was on a cruise.
Oh.
But in terms of, I've been on cruises like around New Jersey or New York, but I'm good on a cruise.
Really?
I'm good on a cruise. Like I mean, yeah, I'm good on a cruise.
I
wouldn't. I'm not gonna say I don't want to go. I would never go, but that's not something I think I would plan.
Mhm.
You know, yeah, I don't think I would plan a trip on a cruise.
It came into my mind because you had mentioned having a trip with your sisters.
Mhm.
So the last time I was on a cruise, it was a sibling vacation. So I have two older brothers.
Yeah, I'm not going on a cruise with my sisters. Sorry.
I went on a cruise with my two brothers, my two older brothers, and my youngest son,
Right.
and some other family members.
Mhm.
But I had to dorm with my two older brothers, which was definitely an
Mhm.
experience.
Mhm.
But I love cruises. I love it. I had a good time. I wouldn't make it too long.
Maybe if I
A couple
go,
of days.
maybe if I go as an adult, but just that whole, I don't know. I
Yeah.
just didn't.
You dock somewhere, you get able to get out for the day and do your shopping or go to the beach or do different things and then come back on the ship. So you're not on the ship like all day, but
Right.
depending where you're going, where your stops are.
Right.
But we had a fun time. It was fun. And they had themes, they had parties. The food was amazing.
Mhm.
So it would be 2:00 in the morning, and they'd have pizza and sandwiches and this and ice cream, and it was just like heaven. Oh my god, it's amazing.
So what will your final thoughts be to our audience about travel, adventure, and just
Yes.
yeah, what would
do
you
it,
say?
do it. Go out, live your life, travel. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. Travel, travel, travel. See the world, experience the world, live the world.
travel?
Travel. It's
Just get
beautiful.
out
If you're
there.
able to, I would definitely recommend it. Just go. Go.
I think yeah. So because nowadays
Mhm.
it's just affordable.
Yeah.
They make it affordable. Just the options that are presented,
Mhm.
and just paying for the trip or
Yes.
different things
So many
like that.
options.
So I agree. Travel,
Mhm.
see the world, experience it for yourself. It's nothing like an experience for yourself. It's good to hear what people say, but the
Mhm.
peace that
Yes.
comes from traveling and just being by water, if that's what you like, or
Yes.
being in the sand or being in the desert or whatever you like to do,
Just creating those
Just-
memories.
create those memories with the ones you love, whether it's a girl's trip, whether it's a family trip, whether it's a vacation. It could even be a day
solo
trip. Right, a solo trip. Hey, YOLO,
Yeah.
live your life, travel,
Mhm.
see the world. You never know what's out there. The world is
Mhm.
so big. The world is so big, and let's fill the space, make
Yes.
memories, and
Yes.
enjoy it. Right.
Yes, definitely.
So this was fun. This is a
Yes.
great conversation, and we thank you all for joining us this week.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for chatting. I
Thank
see
you all
some
for
comments
chatting.
in there. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yes.
We appreciate your support.
And if you have any tips for us on traveling, drop those tips in the
Mm-hmm.
post that is related to travel.
Yes.
Because we can use them. We'll share those tips, right? Because
Yes.
there's so many different tips on how to pack. We didn't even touch the surface of
Yes,
traveling.
we're gonna probably have to do a part 2.
Yeah. We'll have to do part 2.
Part 2, we didn't talk about flights, how to get flights. Oh my gosh,
Right.
I have this really good website.
Oh,
my
do you? I need
gosh.
that now.
Yeah.
Tips and tricks of traveling and
Yeah.
just all of that.
I
We just
love
talked
it.
about the adventure of
Mhm.
it and what our experience of it. But go out there, make those memories, bond with your family,
Yes.
bond with your friends, and have that self-reflection, just that solo time with yourself if that's what you need.
Mhm.
But make sure you make memories and you can do it affordably.
Yes.
There's affordable
Not
trips
breaking your pocket.
out
Mhm.
there. So, but thank you all
Yes,
for
thank
tuning in
you.
to Latin Soul Vibes. We enjoyed it this
Mhm.
weekend. We enjoy it all the time. So
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you
Whoop, whoop.
guys.
Thank y'all. See you later.
See you soon. See you
We
next
will
time.
holla. We will holla. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Please leave your
Bye.
feedback. Sorry, subscribe, like, and subscribe.
And share.
Yes,
Yeah.
share. Were you not listening to my